Hey, Mike McGroarty here. Real quick, I want to talk about this plastic ground cover cloth that we use in the nursery, and it's kind of like the same stuff that they'll use on a construction site where they put down and then they put stone over top of it. So it comes in different sizes from 6 foot down to this roll that I have here is 15 feet long. One of the catches when you're buying this stuff, don't quote me on this, but like a 6 foot roll is light enough that it can travel via UPS. But if you get the longer rolls, they're going to travel by motor freight. I like the really wide rolls because I have less seams. I have to put in less pins. I got less tripping hazards. So, you're going to have to do, if you're one of our members, in the members area, we've got a supplier that often offers free shipping, and you can get all kinds of deals and stuff. Plus, there are other places around the country where you can pick this stuff up at like a nursery supply house. One brand name that you can look for is DeWitt, and there's different weights. I recommend buying the heavier weight, whatever it is. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I bought any. I've also bought the generic stuff, the no-name brand. It seemed to work just as good. But one of the problems that people run into when you're putting it down is how to secure it. So I'm going to show you today how I secure mine. And I use 2 different methods. Give me a second here and I'll get back in the picture. So the common way to secure it is with these landscape staples. I think these are 6-inch. They're just landscape staples. I buy a box of 100, I think, on Amazon. I don't know how much. But when you're in really hard ground, like I have right here, the staples, see that one's gonna go in. But a lot of times, like if I've got gravel, they don't go in, and then the staple just bends all around. So most of the time I can use a staple because these things are pretty cheap. But where I cannot use a staple, I go to Tractor Supply and I buy these carriage bolts. This is 1/4 inch, so I think the longest they have is 6-inch. And then I buy a washer, excuse me, but I oversize the washer and I get a 3/8 inch washer because the head still won't fit through there, and that gives me a little bit more bite. And then pretty much any kind of hard ground, whether it's driveway, you can see where that's hard there, that staple would have never gone in. I can drive these in. So along here, I've got these carriage bolts with the washers on them, but along most of the other edges, I can get by with the staple. So anyway, this is kind of a little hack that I figured out because I have areas here where I have gravel down from the driveway, like 411s or B19 or something, and you're never going to drive this staple in that, but you can drive this 1/4 inch carriage bolt with the 3/8 washer on top. So, and these things are pretty cheap. The nice thing about Tractor Supply, at least around here, they sell bolts and nuts and stuff like this by the pound. So you don't have to buy like 100 little packs at $4 or $5 a pack. So these things are pretty cheap buying them the way that I do. So that's basically all I wanted to share with you in this video is how to put this ground cover cloth down and secure it. I guess I'm going to share one more thing with you. Do not put this stuff down and put topsoil or mulch or anything else over top of it and think that you're going to control weeds. You are not. They are going to grow right on top of it. They're going to root into it, and you will have a nightmare on your hands. That goes for any kind of weed barrier cloth. It does not work. I don't care what the package says. I don't care what they say on TV. It does not work, and getting it out is a nightmare. And in a lot of cases, you don't get it out because if it's the cheap stuff, it just tears. When I have this stuff down, it gets rooted in on the edges and stuff, and I literally have to pull it out with a machine because I'm not going to kill my back trying to get it out. So do not put anything over top of it. It doesn't work. My neighbor, he puts this stuff down in his garden, and then he'll like cut slits in it and put his tomato and pepper plants and stuff through there. But he picks it up every year so that it doesn't get rooted down. Then he rolls it back out again the following year. So, all right, Mike McGroarty here from mikesbackyardnursery.com. Until next time, stay inspired.